What's up, you guys? It's Kyle, and I want to talk about one of the most amazing things that just happened that I believe is going to change the face of the game forever. Elon Musk and Tesla have just purchased $1.5 billion of Bitcoin at these current levels. And not only that, they are also accepting Bitcoin as a form of payment for Tesla vehicles. But in retrospect, it was inevitable.
I am inevitable.
So in this video, I want to go over exactly what happened, why this is so important, and where we are going to go from here. Elon Musk is not the first company to invest in Bitcoin. In this past year, we've seen Square, we've seen guys like Michael Saylor in MicroStrategy. They've invested some of their company's capital into Bitcoin. A lot of their company's capital, actually, for MicroStrategy. So the difference here, though, is Elon Musk. Elon Musk is seen as such a visionary. He has such a massive following. So it's completely changing the game that he's the one doing this. And it's been a long time coming that this has been on the horizon. Now, because of his visionary status, this is a new different level. This is a huge level. And this is something that now you can look back and see his tweets about Dogecoin and blah, 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 all these other things, pumping up these smaller coins. But it's not about, which I just believe that was kind of all a joke. And I think he's having some fun with it. It's not about what he says on Twitter. It's about what he does. It's the action that took place. And what happened was incredible. So Elon is different. He's looked at as a visionary that is trying to protect the human race for the greater good. He also has a track record with Tesla, and he's done nothing short of amazing things with that company. So other companies are going to follow his suit. Companies possibly such as Apple, other Fortune 500 companies like this. And it makes perfect sense why they would do this and why they would allocate a portion of their cash reserves into an asset like Bitcoin. Say, for instance, you have two pools and one pool has a leak in it, and it is leaking about 15 to 20% of the water that's in it every year. And then you have another pool that is perfectly sealed and is containing all of that water without losing any of it. The same can be made for a comparison of an asset like Bitcoin. With the first pool, you have your cash reserves that are depreciating at a value of 15 to 20% year over year. So why wouldn't companies want to protect at least a portion, have a portion of their cash into an asset like Bitcoin instead of losing that purchasing power that they would have otherwise had? So it makes perfect sense why they would want to be in an asset that has a track record like Bitcoin, which has, yes, been volatile, but if you look at it over the long term, it's been appreciating 200% year over year. So every 6 months, your investment is appreciating 100%. Now, Bitcoin isn't going to be looked at as, it's not going to replace cash. It's not going to replace these rails of payment such as credit cards and PayPal and things of that nature. What it's going to do is be a store of value. It's like digital gold, but it's even better than digital gold because unlike gold, you can transfer it within seconds, and it's also kept track of on a ledger on your computer. So as for the price prediction of Bitcoin, here's the thing. If these companies, and this is why this news is so huge, if these other companies start allocating a portion of their funds to Bitcoin, 5 to 10% only, whereas in Tesla's case, they actually ended up purchasing 15% and putting 15% of their cash reserves into Bitcoin. If this were the case, we're talking about a $400,000 to $600,000 Bitcoin per Bitcoin within a year. And within 4 to 5 years, we're talking about 1 million plus. So at the current level of $40,000 per Bitcoin, 43,000 today, it may go up, it may go down a little bit. It looks rather inexpensive. So this is huge news, huge news. And I, for one, this is the reason where I have and why I have been allocating much of my cash in transferring it into Bitcoin since the last bubble breakdown in 2017. After the last crash, investigating, researching it, looking into it is why I've been moving much of my cash over into Bitcoin. And I just see it as the apex predator. I see it as the future. And it's almost like if you asked me what would it take to sell my Bitcoin, it's almost like asking what would it take to give up your cell phone. The only answer would be if something better came along. What would it take for you to give up your computer if something better came along? If something better came along than Bitcoin, it would just be better than Bitcoin, and it would cause for me to sell my Bitcoin and buy that. But as of right now, I see it as the apex predator gobbling up everything else in its way, and it's going to. So that's where I see where this is headed. All right, so what is going to happen now? Well, I feel that now other companies, other Fortune 500 companies even, are going to follow suit with Tesla, and they are going to allocate a portion of their balance sheet into Bitcoin. And not only that, institutional investors and hedge funds are going to have to allocate a portion of their assets into Bitcoin. And the reason being is that these hedge fund managers, these institutions, are going to have to answer to their investors. And their investors are going to ask, what have we made this year? What is the portfolio up? And these hedge funds saying maybe 10%, 15%. And then they're going to look at other people, like Cathie Wood, for example. Her company's up 200+% in her investments. And she's looked at as a visionary, just the same as how Elon is. And she's also called for a $400,000 Bitcoin by the end of this year. So these hedge fund managers are going to almost be forced to allocate a portion of their fund into Bitcoin. And that's where I believe we are going to go with this. So guys, if you're holding Bitcoin at all, give yourself a pat on the back, because this is huge news. This is insane news. And it's something that we've been waiting for a while, something that I've been waiting for, I'm excited about, because I think it's a world of opportunity on the way. And we're going to be hearing about other companies following suit, and it's just going to be a domino effect. So if you're holding on, if you're hodling Bitcoin, give yourself a pat on the back. If you're not, there's still time to get in. And guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This has been, it's a great day. I really appreciate you checking this channel out. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. Also, subscribe if you have not done so already, and deposit a like before you go on this video. It'll help out with the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much. Guys, there's links below. Check out COINBASE. It's an exchange where you can purchase Bitcoin, as well as a link for BLOCKFI, where you can actually, and I actually store my Bitcoin to be able to earn interest on it. So check that company out. It's a great company. And guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great day.